Master this supply and demand strategy and pass your prop firm evaluations every time, whether you want to do FTMO challenge, my Forex Fund challenge, or the Funded Trader Program challenge. You can easily pass your prop firm evaluations using this strategy. So let's get into this video. The very first step of this strategy is that we need to identify the overall market direction, and for that purpose we need a big impulsive movement which will tell us that whether the market is in downtrend or is in uptrend. Now you can see that we were making higher high and higher low, higher high and higher low, and after creating this higher high we made an impulsive movement. And when we were making an impulsive movement, it is an indication for us that market wants to go to the downside if we are making the movement to the downside. So as we can see that how the sellers made a movement to the downside, they are very strong. We have created a new lower low right here. Previously the market stayed above at this area for some time. We tested this level right here. Buyers went up. This was the lower low that we created after this movement to the downside. But after we created a lower low right here, buyers were making a pullback to the upside. We tried to cross this level to create a new lower low, but we failed. But as we can see that we have now broken this level and there is this new lower low. So the first step is that we need the impulsive movement. The second step is that we need the market to create a new lower low. So right now we have this new lower low, and this is when we are looking at the impulsive movement from the sellers. The next step will be that during this movement there should be some sort of supply and demand. In case of sellers, we need a supply zone. In case of buyers, we need a demand zone. So how do we identify the supply level from where we can expect the reaction if the market pulls back? So as we can see that we made this supply level, but the condition here, whenever we create a supply zone, it must be near to the previous support and resistance that we will break. So there was a resistance, we can see we broke this resistance, and this is the supply level that we are going to consider. So we can expect a market to make a pullback towards this area, gets reject here, and then we can take the sell. So we have understood that we need an impulsive movement. We should create a lower low for the sell side. If we are looking to sell, there should be a supply level which should be near to the previous support level right here. And when we identify all these things, we need a market to make a pullback, and the pullback should be a proper correction, meaning the momentum from the buyers when they will be making a pullback, it should be weaker as compared to the momentum from the sellers that we can see right here. So when the market is making a pullback, we have our first movement of the pullback right here. Then the sellers made a little movement to the downside, and after this point we broke this previous resistance and went up. So we have our second leg of the pullback. Now what we need market to reach this level of supply that we have right here. We need the market to come towards this level and gets a rejection. But we're not going to take the trade randomly after the rejection because we need confirmations. So as the market, when it reached the level of supply right here, we can see that before that we made an illusion as well. Now what is an illusion? It means that inside this overall seller's trend, the market makers are letting people think that we are in the buyer's trend in the small level. Right here you can see an example. When we broke this resistance, market came to test that level, we created this support, and buyers made a movement towards our supply level right here. So we need this kind of an illusion, so people will turn into the wrong side of the market direction. And whenever there will be an illusion inside the overall seller's trend and we start to get a rejection at our supply level, that means the market makers are now interested in taking the sell as well. So we need a confirmation for us to take the entry, so that way there will be a less chance of us to lose this trade opportunity. So now as we can see that we have rejected first right at this area, and there seems to be a rejection here as well, and right after that we have also created an illusion. Market tested the resistance level, created a support, and then the movement happened to the upside. We got another rejection right at here. Now the rejection happened and the sellers are coming to the downside. We're not gonna take the sell right here. We need the price towards this rejection again if we want to take the sell, so we can have a good risk to reward ratio. Now two things can happen. Whenever there is a big rejection and the overall trend starts to resume, like we are making the movement here, we can either reject from the previous support and resistance area and then comes to that supply level. The other thing can be that market can simply just make a movement to the downside towards the recent lower low right here, and then the buyers will come up again towards our rejection here of the supply level. In any case, we need price towards this area so we can take the sell from here place our stop loss just above the rejections and our target at the recent lower low in case of seller's trend. Now, as I said that we can get a rejection from the previous support and resistance level. So here we have the support and resistance level, and market, it did not make a movement to the downside towards our lower low right here. In fact, we are coming up again towards our supply level from where we have got a big rejection right here. Now, when we are coming towards that level, if we just compare the seller strength, which was right here and which was right here, to these buyers movement, we can see how the buyers are making the movement to the upside. It seems like they have less momentum as compared to the sellers, and that is a good thing for us, because if the market makers wants to take the sell, so it means buyers will have less momentum coming towards the supply level. And the moment we came towards the area of supply from where we were getting rejected, we can see not only the buyers are losing strength, but also there is a big doji candle right here. So if we can get an engulfing candle right after this doji candle, then we will place the trade. And we have this big engulfing candle from the sellers, so it means the sellers are now going to continue their movement to the downside. So we can place the trade from here, put our stop loss just above the recent rejection area, and our target at the lower low is going to be a good trade opportunity, and it is a 2.59 risk to reward ratio trade. And we can see that how well it performed. Now, how to pass prop firm evaluation using this strategy every time? Let's say that if you are having 1 to 2.5 risk to reward ratio from every single trade, and the target for the phase 1 is either 8% or it is 10%. So what we're going to do, we need to adjust our risk according to the targets. So let's say that you take the trade 1 and you make 2.5% risk by risking 1% on that trade. If the trade hits your take profit, so on the next trade, you're going to risk this 2.5% that you will make on your first trade. So if you will risk 2.5%, you will risk 2.5% on your trade number 2 to make 6.25%. So this is called asymmetric compounding. So what you are doing, you are only risking the amount that you have made as a profit, and you only need to do 2 trades and you will reach your 8% profit target. But if the profit target is 10% like you have with FTMO, then it's gonna take you 1 more trade. But in your third trade, do not risk 2.5% or 6.25%. Just risk 1% again to reach your profit target objective if you have a 10% profit target on your phase 1. Now the question is that what if you lose your trade 1? Then in that case, you will continue to risk 1% until you are up around 2 or 3% on your account, your phase 1 account of the evaluation. I have passed so many challenges using this supply and demand strategy with the help of asymmetric compounding in my risk management, and you can do that as well. And let me know if you want me to help you pass the evaluation. You can get free access to my course and to my private traders community, literally free. All you have to do is send an email to info@thefalcontrader.com, and I will provide you all the steps that you are required to do in order to get free access to my traders community and to my mentorship course, where I will be helping you pass your evaluations, and you will also be learning how to become a profitable funded trader on a consistent basis. So thank you for watching, guys. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now. Let me know if you want to know anything in the comment section. Peace out.